To go back to our reason for learning Python again, so we are not trying to build a software. What we are trying to do is learn Python a little bit and to be able to use other people's tools. Okay? Let's do data types. You already know what string is. String is like my name, the characters. We already did this in Bash, so you already know what string is. String is letters, is set of characters. And variable, you already know this is a data container. So you can put in anything into this data container. And integer is just numbers, 1, 2, 3, or 4, 5, or 1, 100. These are integers. Float is very similar, but it has numbers after decimal point. 1.1 is float. 2.2 is a float. 3.3, float. So your list looks like this. This is list, empty list. This is your list of 1 integer. This is your list of 2 integer. This is a list. You can put in a lot of different variables into single thing, single list. Dictionary looks like this. So this is an empty dictionary. The difference between the list and dictionary is that it has names for each item. It has names for each item. So name, Kevin. Address, Fenway. Age, 95. So it has key and value. So you can give the name for each item. This can be quite useful when we are dealing with lots of different information rather than a set of list of items. So we can recall them easier, or we can use them easier, or use both of the information in our programming. Try creating few fake data types like string, integer, float, list, and dictionary in your Jupyter notebook. So I'm gonna do A, I'm gonna create string. So A is string. When I do type, open brackets A, it's gonna return me what type this variable is. Okay, I'm gonna create numbers, integers, and I'm gonna check type of B, and now it's returning me B. B is integer. Let me register float to C. I wanna see what type C is a float. This time I want to make a list and call it D. List with brackets. I'm gonna make a list of numbers 1, 7, 8, 1.5. And when I do type, D is a list. And I'm gonna do E, and I'm gonna make a dictionary. I'm gonna do car 1, Mazda. I'm gonna do car 2, BMW, car 3, Lexus. I'm going to do look at the type. It's the dictionary, dict. Okay. To go back to our reason for learning Python again, so we are not trying to build a software. What we are trying to do is learn Python a little bit and to be able to use other people's tools. Okay. And in doing that, since other people's tool expects you to enter few specific inputs in a specific type, this is where most error come from. Like I make a software and I give it to you and then I ask you to run it, but my software requires a string input, but you are entering integer. It's not going to run. But as long as you match the type of the expected input, it's going to run. You don't have to worry about what I do in the script. You don't have to worry about all the mathematics in the function. You don't even have to worry about what it does to the data many of the times. So getting the right type in the right format is a huge thing for people like us who are trying to use other people's tools. And this is quite important step in starting Python. So understand your types and change into different types and then cleaning up your input data just to be able to use other people's tools. Okay? Let me recap what we did today. So it was really basic Python, just going through data types. You already know string, that's really good. You already know what variable is. That's very good. Integer, you understand it. We learned it in high school or before. Float and list, very simple. Your list of items. And dictionary, you can give names of each item. It's very simple. Okay? And then using type command, we can check which type it was. and we learned how to install Python using Miniconda and Anaconda, and we learned about Jupyter Notebook, where we can track our outputs and inputs and then save them as HTML file. And most importantly, in the Jupyter Notebook, our normal mode works, so we can move around with the Vim keys, create cells, and then copy cells, and so on. So in the normal mode, you can do, if you do H, there's a bunch of other shortcuts, so you can look at the two. And this week, please, when you open a Vim, try minimizing your number stroke. Now you already know quite a lot of keys that will allow you to minimize your keys into about 5 strokes to get you anywhere that you pick, okay?